everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we are talking about Mountains Out of Molehills by the Op.
So if you ever heard the saying, don't make a mountain out of a molehill, that is what we are doing here, but except we want to make mountains. So let's dive into this video.
Alright, so in this game we are all kinds of moles who have gathered together from across the lands to have this molehill mountain making competition. So in this game you're basically going to be drafting a set of cards which are sort of your plan. It's your moves that you're going to make in the tunnel, whether it's move forward or turn around or hit a rock. And so you're going to draft these cards and you're going to arrange 4 of them into a specific order. Once everyone's done that, we're gonna start running our moles. So the first card flips, then the second card flips, and you'll move forward, you'll turn, you'll move forward, you'll turn. And everywhere that you move, you're gonna be raising the molehills above ground. So we're on this 2-layer board where when you move below, your dirt comes up above. Now you're going to win in this game with the most points. The way you get those is anytime a molehill has your dirt on the bottom of it by the end of the round, you're going to score points equal to the height of that molehill. So that's how you're going to get all of your points. Now in addition to that, you're also going to be choosing who the first player is for the next round based on who has the most dirt on top of the molehills. The last fun challenge of this game is that molehills have a maximum height for each round, and if they go over that height, they're going to topple in one direction or another. Now when that molehill topples, you get to choose the direction that dirt is falling, which can help you raise your own mountains.
So that's the gist of Mountains Out of Molehills, and I find this game really interesting because you have to plan out your turn in your mind before you can do it in real life. So you're going to be deciding which direction your moles are going to go and hoping that you did that correctly, and you can't be like, oh, let me just practice, guys. Let me just run it through that. No, you have to just decide and hope that what you did is the correct way in the game.
Yes. Okay. So that is a concept that we call programming, and I'm so excited about this because I'm a software engineer, and one of the first things that I was taught as a kid was how to sequence things, how to program them. It's if I connect these 4 things in robotics, you think about Lego Mindstorm, stuff like that. You go move, move, turn, move, turn, and you'd see it move, move, turn, move, turn. Now the trick is that depending on the order in which you put those cards, you're going to end up in a totally different spot because you might just turn, move. You're in a totally different spot than you were if you moved and then turned. And so this teaches that concept. It connects it in the brain. Everyone's going to have to do that.
Yeah, it's a really good training exercise because you can't get into situations where if you plan it out wrong, you just are going to hit a wall and then you're, well, my turn's over, I can't go anymore. And you had a bunch of other stuff planned out. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah, and that can be frustrating, right? Like when you think that you've done something right and then you hit a wall and can't move anymore.
I also think it's interesting thematically because moles are blind, so they can't even see where they're going. So the fact that you have to decide where to go, you are actually in that mole's head, and they're not going to know in real life where they're going either. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's very fun, very thematic.
So let's jump into components. I love the stacking cube system in this that you're using to create your molehill mountain. First off, they're just fun to play with in between turns. My friend Jacqueline and I, we just love stacking them. It's for a person that likes to fidget at the table, excellent.
Make a sword out of it, hit people.
Yeah, it's very fun. But they also just work really nicely as a dexterity component in the game, and they balance really nicely on the board.
They do work quite well, and especially because you have to put your dirt on the bottom when you raise those hills because you're underneath. So you pick up the whole tower, you plop one on the bottom, and you put it back. And it's so easy.
And it could be a disaster because it's oh gosh, if this wasn't built well, then down goes everyone's mountains that you've built.
Yeah. I also love this 2-layer system that they have. Solid, epic, just plastic supports in each corner that just make the whole thing really sturdy. You never feel like it's gonna fall. And acrylic standees for the players really works for this game because it matters which direction you're facing. You use the acrylic, it's just I'm pointed that direction. Now one thing with the acrylic standees, and this is true of all the op games with acrylic, and I think just most games in general with acrylic, they often have a film on them that you have to peel back off of it. It keeps it from getting scratched and things like that. But just be aware of that. They looked like they were kind of foggy at first, and then I realized, oh, there's a little film on here. And they were kind of hard to peel off. I was working at it for a good like 15 minutes.
But I really like the presentation that it creates on the board. I don't really think there's any negatives about this game. I think it is built at the way it is. It is a lighter game. So if you're looking for a heavier, complex game, like it is very straightforward. You're going to pick several direction cards. You're going to do those directions and you're going to stack your molehill. Doesn't get much deeper than that, but I really like the concept that it is, and I think it's great for kids in learning this concept.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one other thing that's important to know about this game, it is very competitive. So you can block other players, you can throw a rock in front of them, you can make it based on how you did your moves and knowing that you're going to go first, so that someone's entire sequence could just not work.
Yep, that happened to me.
So you just have to be aware of that going in. Everyone kind of has to know what's going on. And so I think that, if you know that going in, it's a competition and you're going for that, it's okay. But it can be mean, for sure. Mm-hmm. In general, I think programming in a game is just an amazing concept to teach. I think everyone should be learning this and getting good at this. As an engineer, I think, 10 years from now, everyone's going to have to program, whether it's my garage door opens, my house door closes, and you got to get that sequence down. Everyone's going to have to do that, I think. So doing it in game form, it's fun.
Alright everyone, and that is our review of Mountains Out of Molehills. If you're interested in this game and want to add it to your shelf, I'll put links down below on how you can get a copy of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!